Now let's look at the relation, transitive relation. So the important thing that you should observe here is, when is a relation not going to be transitive? Okay, similarly in all the relations, it is not when it is going to be that type of relation that is important. It is when it is not going to be that type of relation that is important. For example, in transitive relation, a relation capital R on a set capital A is said to be transitive if x is related to y and y is related to z, then x is related to z for all x, y, z belongs to A. So what it means is, a relation is said to be transitive only under the conditions. If means only under these conditions. When you see two elements of type x comma y and y comma z, then you should see the element x comma z. If you don't see x comma z, then we can say that it is not transitive. Therefore, it is very important to understand this condition. What is it? If you see these two elements x comma y and y comma z, then only there is a chance that it might not be transitive relation. In case if you don't have x comma z, otherwise every relation is transitive. So are you following it? So only if you have elements of type x comma y and y comma z, then only you should verify whether it fails to be transitive relation or not. If you don't have any such elements, then every relation is transitive. So with examples you will understand it. See this? Now let us say R1 is simply empty set. There is no x comma y and y comma z. If there is no such pair, then we can directly declare that it is transitive. So that is what I am saying. Okay, so this is definitely transitive relation. Now let's say R2 is 1 comma 1 like this. Now is it transitive? Yes, because it does not have the pair x comma y and y comma z, then only it might fail. Without that pair, there is no chance of failure at all. Therefore, it is transitive. What about the relation R3? See this. Let's say R3 is A comma B and C comma D. It is transitive because we don't have that pair x comma y and y comma z. Therefore, it is transitive. Now, tell me about this R4. R4 is x comma y, and assume that we have y comma z. Now think about it. Now we have x comma y and y comma z pair, but we don't have x comma z. That is why it failed to be transitive. It is not transitive. Got it? You have to catch the difference. What is it? X comma y is present, y comma z is present, and therefore there is a chance that it might fail to be transitive. Otherwise it will definitely be transitive, right? Now we have to check for the presence of the element x comma z. Now since that is not there, it is definitely not transitive, right? Now tell me about this. R5 is x comma y, y comma z and x comma z. What about this? Yes, there is a pair x comma y and there is a pair y comma z. Therefore, there is a pair. We have to test whether x comma z is present or not. In this case, it is there. Therefore, it is true. It is transitive. Right? Tell me about this. R6 equal to 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 2. Think about this. There is x comma y pair. So what is x comma y pair? 1 comma 2 and then y comma z. Y comma z is 2 comma 2. Therefore what should be present? X comma z, which means 1 comma 2 should be present, and it is already present. Therefore it is transitive. Think about this one. 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 and then 1 comma 1. Think about it. Is it transitive or not? So how can you test it? So for every x comma y, y comma z pair, you should test for y comma z, x comma z. See this, x comma y is present, y comma z is present. Now we should test for x comma z. Yes, it is present, right? and similarly x comma y is present, y comma z is present. If you test for x comma z, which is 2 comma 1, it is present, right? And now you can think of this one as x comma y, and we can think of this one as y comma z. Therefore x comma z is 1 comma 2, which is already present, therefore it is transitive, right? So like this you have to test each one. Now what about this one, R8 equal to A cross A for any set A? So what can you say about it? It is transitive. The reason is it contains all the possible elements. Therefore, in case if there is any element like x comma y and y comma z, of course there will be x comma z possible because everything is present there. Therefore, the largest relation which is transitive is A cross A, and the smallest relation which is transitive is empty set. But then in general, till now we have been counting and then seeing the relations between various types of relations, but counting the number of transitive relations is not so simple. It is not at all easy, so we are not going to look at it in, and this such kind of questions will not be asked in GATE because there is a lot of complexity involved in it. So earlier it was simple permutations and combinations kind of questions where we are able to find out how many reflexive relations are possible, how many symmetric, like that. But here it is going to be very complex, so because we have various cases here to analyze, so I'm not going to discuss about it. Such questions will not be asked in GATE as well, okay? But then they might ask you the examples. What are the relations that are transitive? For example, if you have the relation less than on set of all real numbers, then it is transitive. So how can we test it? Simple. If A is less than B, which means A comma B belongs to the relation, and if B is less than C, which means B comma C belongs to the relation, then definitely A will be less than C, and so A comma C will also belong to the same relation. Got it? Therefore, if A comma B is present, B comma C is present, then definitely A comma C will also be present. And similarly, greater than is also transitive. And similarly, subset is transitive, superset is transitive, and proper subset, proper superset is transitive, and divides. So A divides B, B divides C, then A divides C, right? So even divide C is also transitive. So we can see all such relations which are transitive. Got it? So coming to the transitive relations, we are not going to discuss the types of questions which we have discussed like other relations because it is very complex, right? But then we will be discussing some other types of relations which will have transitive as a part of them. Okay, fine.
Hi, if you are planning to do masters, then doing masters abroad is better than doing masters in India. I'll give you all the reasons. So, first reason is, out of 1 lakh students who take GATE every year, there are only 500 seats in old IITs. So all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%, and IITs, universities better than IITs, they have very good acceptance rate like 30%, 40%, but all the IITs put together have an acceptance rate of 0.5%. And if you are working hard to get into IIT Bombay's ranking is 177 and IIT Roorkee's ranking is 400. If you are happy to get into IIT Roorkee, then getting into universities better than IIT Roorkee is easier compared to getting into IIT Roorkee. And looking at the salaries for computer science, for software jobs, if you have done your masters in computer science in US, the salaries are ranging from 80 lakhs per year to 1.2 crore per year. So even if you take an average of 1 crore per year, your savings will be much higher than the salaries in India. After taxes and your cost of living, you can easily save 40 to 50 lakhs per year. And in India, the maximum jobs that you get is around 30 lakhs. So your savings will be much greater than the salaries in India. And these are all the services that we provide. University shortlisting. So depending on your profile, we will shortlist what are the universities that you have to apply, and statement of purpose building, and then LOR guidance, and GRE and English test assistance, and education loan assistance. So you don't have to have any collateral, which means without any security, now you can get education loan. Getting education loan is very simple these days, and whatever the amount of fee that you have a range of universities. You can apply for 10 lakh universities, 20 lakh universities, or 50 lakh universities. But whatever it is, you are going to get complete education loan, and you can pay off your education loan in 1 year after you get a job. And then we do visa assistance, mock visa interviews, and then connecting with the university alumni. So now you might ask why we should join Game of Visas. So the answer is we have 90% success rate, 99% success rate. And these are all the destinations that we guide the students to. So we guide students to any country that you want to go. So now it is not just USA. We guide to UK, Germany, Australia, Canada. So we guide students to all the countries. We work with all the destinations. And if you are interested in going abroad, you have to just drop us a message on this WhatsApp number 9494 555 454. Okay, thank you.